Beneath the hills where shadows breathe, a silver thread begins to weave. From stone to moss, from root to leaf, it hums a hymn both sharp and brief. The river wakes a whispered sigh, reflecting fragments of the sky. It carries storms, it carries peace, it carries tales that never cease. Long before the villages grew, before the wheat knew morning dew, before the plough, before the flame, the river spoke each creature's name. It knew the elk with antlered crown, the fox who wore the froster's gown, the crane whose wings could sweep the sun, the trout who swam when snow would run. It kept the memory of the rains, the droughts, the ice, the summer plains. It kept the faces of the moon, and every note of June's warm tune. One night, when winter's teeth were near, the river bent its glass to hear a stranger walking through the trees, his boots like whispers on the leaves. He bore a staff of twisted yew, his cloak the color midnight grew, his eyes like coals yet somehow kind, his voice a rope that drew the mind. "Old river," said the wanderer low, "you've watched the rise, you've watched the slow and quiet crumbling of the years. You've drunk the laughter, drunk the tears. I seek a place where time forgets, where hearts recall what soul begets, where I may lay my burdens down and trade this thorn for some small crown." The river swirled in thought and song, its current deep, its judgment long. "I know the place, but it is far, beyond the line where dreams still are. You must walk days through silver rain, yeah, through meadows green, through fields of grain. And in the night, when wolves will cry, you must not answer, must not lie. At last you'll find a hollow wide, where starlight pools and shadows hide. And there, if you can face your name, you may begin your life again." The wanderer bowed, and so he went, each step a vow, each breath a rent. The river followed, voice in mist, a faithful ghost, a patient wrist. Through pine and ash, through oak and fern, the path would twist, the path would turn. He crossed the stones where rivers meet, he bled his hands, he burned his feet. And once, upon a moonless plain, he heard the wolves call out his name. Their voices sweet, their voices near, but he remembered what to fear. So he pressed on, through frost and flame, until the seventh morning came. The hollow yawned, the starlight dripped, and silence took him in its grip. A mirror lay upon the ground, not glass, but water without bound, and in its depths 1,000 years looked back at him through joy and tears. He saw himself as child and man, the roads he'd walked, the deeds he'd planned, the ones he'd done, the ones he'd lost, each weighed in light, each weighed in cost. "Now speak your name," the river said, its voice like wind through branches dead. The wanderer knelt, his breath was stone. He spoke and knew he spoke alone. The word was small, yet split the air, and left his soul entirely bare. The starlight turned, the hollow shook, and every leaf became a book. The river's current wrapped his hands. It pulled him through its glassy lands, past nights of fire, days of rain, past loss, past joy, past ache, past gain. He stepped within, the water shone, and in a breath he was alone. Alone, and yet entirely whole. A child, a man, a single soul. The hollow opened wide and deep, and laid his name at last to sleep. The river sighed, its current stilled, its ancient promise now fulfilled. But in its song a note remains, of one who walked through frost and rains, and found the place where time forgets, where hearts recall what soul begets. Beneath the hills where shadows weave, a silver thread still hums and leaves. From stone to moss, from root to leaf, a hymn of journeys, long and brief. It showed him faces, some he knew, some strangers made of light and blue. It showed him fields that never fade, and seas no tempest ever made. When he awoke, the dawn was near. The wolves were gone, the sky was clear. His staff was gone, his cloak was white. His eyes now carried streams of light. He turned and saw the hills anew, the fox, the crane, the elk, the ewe. The river ran beside his way, and hummed the hymn of yesterday. He walked until the village came, its streets alive, its fires the same. They looked at him, yet none could say from where he came, or why he'd stay. He built a home beside the shore. He took in strangers at his door. He planted seeds that bloomed in frost, and sang to those who felt most lost. The river kept its patient flow, through flood and thaw, through ice and snow. And though the years were not unkind, the man would sometimes sit and find his face within the moving glass, and wonder where the hollow was. For in his heart he always knew the river gave, the river drew, and when the silver thread was done, he'd walk again where dreams still run.